Located above California's central coast in the midst of giant redwoods sits a resort like none other. Alila Ventana Big Sur is what resort dreams are made of. Nature, romance, serenity, peace. It can all be found when visiting this one-in-a-million property. Welcome to the Savvy Sightseer, the channel that helps you travel savvy. Alila Ventana Big Sur is an adults-only, all-inclusive resort located in one of the most scenic areas of the world, Big Sur, California. Need I say more? This is no regular resort and has hosted people such as Taylor Swift, Anna Kendrick, and the Obamas. It even was where Natalie Portman had her wedding in 2012. There is not a single picture or video that my husband and I saw before our arrival that did this place justice. I want to go over all the components of staying at this resort: the grounds, the experiences, the rooms, and the dining options. Each component makes this resort one of the best in the entire world. Make sure to watch until the end because you don't want to miss a thing about this one-in-a-million resort, and I'm hoping you can experience it yourself someday too. First, let's talk about getting there. If coming from out of state, you will most likely fly into one of the airports located up north, such as San Francisco or San Jose. We flew into San Jose, and the drive was about 2 hours to the resort if we wouldn't have stopped. But this is no regular drive. You drive through Monterey, Pebble Beach, Carmel by the Sea, and continue onto one of the most scenic highways in the world, Highway 1, meandering down the Pacific coast with the most epic views. You can check out my other videos on the 17-mile drive and 5 things to do in Big Sur to see what you'll be seeing and doing as you make your way to Ventana Big Sur. From the moment you arrive at Ventana Big Sur and drive through the gates, you are greeted by what might be the most friendly and helpful staff I have ever encountered. The second you then walk up the stairs after arriving and dropping off your car at the valet, you are instantly enraptured by stunning landscape. The first part of the resort that you will experience is the Social House. This part of the resort is where you will check in. We arrived on a cold and rainy day, and as we stepped in, we were enveloped in the warmth and coziness of this part of the resort. The fire was going, and you can feel the heat from it, along with the rustic smell of burning firewood. We were served lavender lemonade and sat down at the desk to go through the check-in process. In the Social House, you can also find records to take back to your room to play on your record player, and a pool table to enjoy if you want. And each evening, you can come grab s'mores to enjoy in the Social House or take them back to your room if you have a fireplace. Located below the Social House is the Meadow Pool, which is the main pool of the resort. This pool sits high over the Pacific Ocean with one of the best views of from the whole resort. There's also their Infinity Edge hot tub with views of the mountains behind the resort. One thing I appreciated about this hot tub was that it was very large and there was a sign that said only 4 people maximum. They really try to do everything they can in their power to keep your time here as private as possible. Below the Meadow Pool is the Ocean Meadow. This is where you will get that spectacular view of the ocean like at the Meadow Pool. It's also a perfect place to just sit back and take in the sunset each evening. Deeper in on the property is the Mountain Pool. This is their more standard pool, but the views of the sunset at night were breathtaking here too. It's hard to find a location around the resort that you can't find beautiful views, whether looking out to the ocean or just the nature surrounding you. Right by the Mountain Pool is also where you will find the Japanese bathhouses. These are 104-degree Japanese hot baths. There are actually 3 separate sections. On one side is strictly for men, the opposite side is strictly for women, and in the middle, you can join together. One word of warning though, clothing is optional in these baths, so just be forewarned. Located right by the mountain pool and the Japanese bathhouses is a fitness center providing quite a selection of equipment. I never actually did see anyone working out in there because this resort really is all about relaxation, but at least you have the option to exercise if you want to. Around the property is a walking trail. It's nothing fancy and you can find better trails in Big Sur, but it's nice to get out and enjoy the property from a different perspective as you walk around it and through the giant redwoods. Also located on property is the spa, the Redwood Cathedral where you can have a picnic, and 2 restaurants that I will go over in a bit. The resort provides many complimentary activities such as hikes and movement in the morning. They also provide featured experiences such as falconry, which is actually something Taylor Swift did while she was there, axe throwing, and botanical pours where you will learn to mix your own drinks using herbs grown right there on property. These experiences do cost extra and are not a part of the all-inclusive experiences. Located throughout the entire 160-acre property are only 59 guest rooms. Once you are checked in, you are given your key and have the option to walk or get taken by one of their many chauffeured carts to your room. The key is a wooden chip with the image of the iconic Ventana Sunstone and meditation circle. The meditation circle is located before you enter the gate. The image of this circle is used everywhere throughout the resort, from their brochure you are given when you check in to the reusable water bottles you receive in your room. The views alone at this location provide you peace, but this place also encourages you to stop and meditate, finding complete peace. It's really not hard to do that here. Because there are only 59 rooms and this resort is adults only, this makes the entire experience here feel so personal, rustic, quaint, and just exclusive. We stayed in a superior fireplace guest room. When you walk in, you instantly see the kitchenette and dining area. They had thought of everything to make our stay extra special. Before our arrival, they actually reached out to us to see if we were celebrating any sort of special occasion. We let them know we were coming to celebrate my 40th birthday. When we arrived in our room, there was such a nice surprise of champagne, flowers, and a balloon waiting for me. Like I mentioned a moment ago, there will also be 2 reusable water bottles which come with every room. Those water bottles can be used at one of the many refilling stations throughout the resort. This is actually the first reusable water bottle from a resort that I actually truly enjoyed and thought it was good quality and wanted to keep. Also located in the kitchen area are snacks and treats that they refill each day, along with a variety of beverages. This is all included because, again, this is an all-inclusive resort. The bathroom in our room was huge. There is a giant shower and a bathtub, and they provide everything you might need, from shampoo to bath salts, bar soap, and even a tray full of all these extras. All the bath products smelled amazing and were the first ones I have ever used from a resort. I never liked the smell of the bath products hotels and resorts provide, but these actually smelled so good and made me feel like I was at some luxurious spa the whole time. Our room also had a balcony, a record player like I mentioned earlier, and my favorite amenity, which was the fireplace. They provide you with bags of wood and matches, and they refill them each day. We lit a fire each night, and it created the most warm, romantic, and special atmosphere. Also in your room, there's robes and slippers, and the robes were necessary for our walks to the hot tub and pool. Like I just mentioned, we had a balcony off of our room that had 2 chairs and a small table, and the most spectacular, beautiful view of the mountains behind us. We sat up really high, giving us this feeling of almost being in a treehouse. The mornings out here were my favorite because just the sounds of nature were so calming and the smell of the fresh air was absolutely invigorating. Each night after dinner, we would return to our room and find our bed turned down and a surprise by the pillow with a card explaining each of their meanings. The first night, it was 2 jade rocks, and the second was a feather. It were these tiny touches that made our stay just magical. As for dining, you have many different options. One option is room service. We actually chose this for breakfast each morning. You call, put in your order, and they bring it right to your room. It does take a little bit of time because they were extremely busy, so just be prepared for that if you choose to go this route. Having the small kitchenette in our room allowed this to be a great option for us. The food was very good, and there were so many options. My favorite was a roasted chicken hash. I had never had anything like it for breakfast. You could order standard coffee or even an iced vanilla latte. It's all inclusive, so they really have it all thought of when it comes to room service. You can use this option for any meal, along with a late night option in which they have a smaller, more snack-like menu starting after 10 p.m. You can eat by the pool at lunchtime or order a picnic to go. And lastly, there's also the Big Sur Smokehouse located on property near the entrance. It was closed while we were there, so I can't speak too much about that option. Another dining option, and the most popular one, is to eat at the on-site restaurant Sur House. Each night, the Sur House hosts an evening social hour from 4 to 5. You can either get picked up and dropped off by one of the chauffeured carts I mentioned earlier, or take the 0.3 of a mile walk. For us, the walk was the best choice. You take this peaceful, calm path meandering through the trees and arrive at the restaurant in just about 10 minutes. At the social hour, you can get snacks and one of their complimentary and famous cocktails, the Marine Layer. They even warn you before they start to serve it that you want to get your phone ready to watch what happens. The drink is an experience in and of itself. It's a lavender and citrus flavored cocktail. I wasn't quite sure if I would like it because I'm not a huge fan of lavender, but this was so refreshing and actually one of my favorite cocktails I had the entire time. They also have other cocktails that you can pay for that they feature at this time of night and are slightly less expensive than dinner time cocktails. That is one thing you do need to know about this resort is that it's all inclusive, but it does not include alcoholic beverages except for that nightly Marine Layer. They also have snacks such as the charcuterie board, nuts, and fries that are also complimentary. For dinner, you will make reservations for a time to come to the restaurant after social hour. For us, we made our time later in the evening, which allowed us to enjoy the social hour and take in the views from the patio outside of the restaurant while enjoying our Marine Layer. We were there when it was cold and rainy, so they didn't have the patio open for dining. But during warmer and drier periods of the year, dining takes place out on this patio overlooking the ocean. It really is hard to beat. But even if you find yourself dining indoors, you're in for a treat. The dark lighting, fireplace, and wooden walls give this restaurant a very intimate and romantic feel. And to top it off, the food is spectacular and the drinks are very inventive and tasty. You will be served a 3-course meal starting with an appetizer, followed by a main course with optional side dishes, and then ending with dessert. The presentation of the food made it almost too stunning to eat. I mean, come on, a dessert shaped as an apple? Amazing. Our last night here, I had what could go down as the most amazing dinner experience of my life. It's definitely a core memory for me. It wasn't really about the food, even though it was absolutely delicious. It was about the experience. We spent 3 hours enjoying each other's company, eating the most delicious food, and just being present. This was all due to our waiter, Juan. He allowed us to take our time, enjoy each course, and make our time here memorable. The staff here is a major reason this resort felt so special. They go above and beyond and treat everyone as though they are someone special. While staying here, we often felt it was too good to be true. It was all just so perfect. So, what is the downside to the resort? Well, It's the cost. This place is expensive, like starting around $1,800 a night expensive at off-peak times. You are more likely to spend more like $2,500 a night for their most basic room during peak times. Is it worth it? I guess it depends on your situation, what you're looking for, and the value you see in everything that they're providing you. For us, we were lucky enough to use Hyatt points. Ventana Big Sur is considered a Category 8 resort, the highest category Hyatt has. It cost us 45,000 points a night. In the world of Hyatt points, that's a lot, and actually could have bought us many more nights at other resorts around the country. Was it worth spending all these points? 1,000 times yes. But be aware that finding nights to use with points is becoming harder and harder at this resort. Now, I could keep going on and on about this resort. I just loved it so much. It will forever hold a very special place in my heart, and it's a priority of mine to return. I think the thing that keeps coming to mind is just the attention to detail that this place has done. Everything is thought of to make your stay here one of the most relaxing and memorable stays of your entire life. Thank you for joining me and letting me share with you Alila Ventana Big Sur. Make sure to hit subscribe so you can see more of my videos to help inspire your next travel destination and to help you travel savvy.